What's up, dude? Changing up the camera today. Whole different look.
Trying out the new logo idea. This is like a show for the audience. So let us know your feedback in the comments below, good or bad. If not, we might have our boy Sam kind of draw us up a new logo.
Yeah, it'd be sick. Actually, I forgot he was an artist.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Where'd you get this latest one?
Huh?
Where'd you get the latest logo? Well, I can tell you didn't change the watermark in the top right corner.
No. It's prototype V1, dude.
Yeah, so you're just going with version 1.
Show it for real quick. There it is.
Can you hide us so they could see it? We'd have to leave the studio. It'd be a pain.
Yeah. Sorry. There you go. And they could still hear us.
So the bear, kind of looks like my chest tattoo.
It does. Generated by the AI. Did a pretty good job. Pretty bang up job. Let us know your thoughts, comments in the videos. It's a live show too. Don't forget if you want to call in. What do you think about the background smoke? Too girly?
Nah, not too girly. Just a little bit more of like paintball-y,
Yeah, paintball-y.
Well, I guess blue and red is like the colors we had, but yeah, it's kind of like a what do they do? That like reveal? Yeah. Gender reveal.
That's true. I didn't think about that. It's all right. It's a they them.
Yeah. Podcast.
I think when you mix red and blue, that's purple, right? I think that's why it's so purpley.
Yeah. Well, the back is the Gotham gray, or Gotham blue, whatever we call it, and then yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I agree with Gaz. The font's not my favorite, but this is just version 1. So the artists that are out there, see what you can do.
I can show some other ones in the runnings that Willie made.
Nah.
Sorry, Willie. So what's good, dude?
Not much, man. Not much. Just continuing on. The Open's over. It's the weekend. It's warm. It's sunny. A lot of shit going down. Going snowboarding tomorrow.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been.
Really?
yeah, really. No, I've never been snowboarding. I've only been skiing once. I'm not a very good ice skater, if that has anything to do with the slopes. Snowboarder on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you grade me?
I've never seen you snowboard.
You've never seen me skateboard.
Oh, skateboard. Skateboarding, you're definitely getting better. Started off as a solid 3. Now you're probably 6, but we haven't really done anything.
Yeah, true.
That's what we should do, dude. That's what we should have done yesterday.
Skateboard.
We went up to Sam's territory in Ojai and
we could do that today.
Rip some hills though. I don't think you've ever been down a hill.
Yeah, nah,
that's all snowboarding is though.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but snowboarding you can go bang side to side. There's not concrete.
Well, that's what you carve for.
Yeah, well, the concrete jungle. We could do that today, dude. He can tell us what hills to go to.
Yeah. Sam, if you're watching live, dude, drop a comment.
Yeah, what hills to go rip bomb down, as Matt would call them.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. There's got to be some kind of country road out there that we could just that's what I used to do back home. Near my mom's house.
Beast. That was a different beast.
We just rip these huge hills
on the longboard.
Yeah, and we'd know when they were gonna repave. They don't repave the roads around here, but back home they would actually repave the roads.
So they would put all those little signs out.
Yeah, and so we'd hit the hill as soon as it was finished paved. That was the shit.
Fresh asphalt, no bumps.
Fresh asphalt.
You'd hit the soft asphalt, so it would just flatten out again.
And that's remember how back home they used to do the cheap version of repaving the roads,
where they would just paint it.
No, remember it would be just the little stones, and it'd be they'd paint it with tar, and then they'd sprinkle the little stones on
on top.
And the road was the worst.
Yeah, because it was still really bumpy, but it was just sealed
version.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was the go-friendly version, because I work with paving contractors, and they literally take up stone, they grind it, and reuse it.
Yeah,
road paving is probably one of the most eco-friendly things out there, besides all the fumes that it releases, I would imagine.
What is tar?
That I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
tar is some nasty shit. Isn't that in the
In the chat, Nick, it's tar. How do you make tar?
I'm pretty sure tar is like natural forming. No, like in Ojai, remember Sulphur Mountain? What's that shit?
I don't know.
All the stuff that runs down the side of the
I mean,
mountains.
yeah, it's definitely natural forming. It's all over the beach.
It's just, I don't know. It stinks. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Snowboarding is like power sliding on a skateboard. I don't know if I can
Sliding on a
even
skateboard.
do that.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's not like it's a whole different beast. Like skateboarding versus snowboarding is just different. If I'm thinking about that sliding, you're just kind of coasting. You know, you just got to get connected with the ground. Skateboarding, you're constantly changing your connected chain to the ground. Like you're creating a closed chain, open chain, closed chain, open chain on a skateboard. Unless you're going downhill, I guess not. It's always closed. You know what that is?
no.
You're a coach. What do you mean? So, yeah.
Closed chain, open chain?
Closed chain, open chain, kinetic energy. Google it. So kinetic energy is like the closed chain on a squat is your feet because they are the piece that aren't supposed to move, where the energy essentially is like connected to the ground. That's where it starts. Bench press, it starts at your hands because your hands are the piece that aren't supposed to be moving on the bar. So it's the closed squat. The chest is the open chain, or like the extremities that are moving. You get the idea. So on a skateboard.
So skateboard is the same thing. I mean, your feet are connected.
Yeah. If you're going down a hill, if you're going, what I like to do is cruise on like a nice 23-degree angle. So you're not like going too quick too often.
We're gonna need Sam to call in because, like, why do I feel like there was a Disney movie? No, Johnny Tsunami was surfing and snowboarding.
Well,
Remember
they're
that movie?
similar. They're
Yeah,
similar.
but like
I
the
would
whole thing in the
imagine.
movie was like, oh, and surfing you use your front foot to turn, and snowboarding you use your back foot to turn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sam said I also
I don't know if that's
skateboard
true.
incorrectly. So
Yeah. There's a guy by the gym that I saw skateboarding with his dude. It was so weird.
he did. The back foot stays on and the front
Board.
foot moves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. So like, yeah, as he's pedaling, like he's pushing the board forward with his back foot. It's so weird.
Well, no, his back foot stayed on the board, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as he's like pedaling, the board is like moving.
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen him a bunch. It doesn't matter what foot goes forward. Like skateboarding and snowboarding, that's where like I'm gonna be facing this way on the board.
Yeah, but they change the bindings depending on what foot's your dominant front foot. So like a split jerk, I guess, would be the probably easiest way for you to figure that out.
I go front foot forward on my right for a split jerk, but skateboarding, my left foot is forward. I feel more dominant, like using my right leg to be the controller.
Yeah, on the board.
So like the left foot stays on the board always for me. That's the pivoter. It's the one that goes forward side, and then my right foot's on the ground. And that's the pedal because I just have more control. Turning or sliding on a skateboard, except way more heels and toes. It's going to be an interesting day, to say the least.
Yeah. What are your what are you looking to kind of do there? Like, let's dig into it a little bit here.
I like to chase mastery. Just get outside, try the goal for the year moving forward is experiences. So most of the things we do, I want to try to experience some more things more often. This is part of my sales tactic. So slowly planting the seed for the move to a colder place like Montana or Colorado.
So that's my next question. Big question is, why'd you choose this one over surfing?
It's more of the sales tactic. Like watering the crops. So we're basically creating a storyboard right now. And we're building the story, and all of a sudden it's going to be like all these little fucking spider webs, and we're connecting to the main value driver. Okay. Yeah. Simple math, man.
You're not like scared of the ocean or anything like that.
No. I'm scared of the ocean. That's one thing I won't do. I just can't. I'm not getting in there with a fucking 14-foot great white shark that in Hawaii. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Fucking guy was just swimming in like an 8-foot white, not great white, like tiger shark or something. Boom, out of the water, just grabbed them.
But you swam in the Australian Ocean, no problem.
Yeah, it was different. I was just different mindset. I was like, it's kind of like the bear scenario. If I were to get killed by an animal, like, and we were hiking, and it was like I had to choose between like life or death, and there was a bear there, I'd want to go out trying to fight a fucking bear. I'd get fucked up.
But you'd
But
feel, well, I mean, like that's like control then. Like in the ocean, I feel like you have less control
yeah,
than
100%. That's got, I
on
guess, like a
land.
bear, I could like attempt to run and get
Run,
away.
climb
A
a
shark is
tree,
just
grab a
like, bro, I'm gonna
stick.
drown. You have the option of drowning,
Yeah.
losing a limb very easily. And it might not even be the limb. If like you're in South Africa, Cape Town, skate or surfing, great white's just gonna fucking bite you in half.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, oh, there's a seal, gone,
Yeah.
gone. My body's gone. I'm like smaller than a seal. Way more sharks in Australia. That's true. The one difference I felt in Australia was it was beautiful. Like the water, you could see the bottom. I'm not saying California's not like it was blue, so I could see majority of the bottom. The people I was with, there was a lot of people there. The sun was setting, so the sun was setting on the ocean. It was beautiful, and I was on the board majority of the time. The only time I freaked out was after I would like ride a couple waves in, and like we were at shallow water, and I had to get off the board, and my heart would start pounding, like legit. I was like, fuck.
Do you think
Get
as
out
you
of
get
here.
older, it gets worse or better?
Depends. It always shifts for me. Like there's
Yeah.
probably going to be a point where I'm not afraid of the ocean anymore.
That's better.
And like, remember, I used to hike. We would go hiking, and I was always petrified of heights. Then there was a period of time where, like, when we went to Yosemite, I was like on the edge, like didn't care. I had no fear for heights, and now I
Yeah.
have fear for heights again.
It's true.
It just
My
like
heights
goes up
get
and down.
worse. My fear for heights definitely gets worse as I
But
age.
the other things change for you.
I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if my height. That's a good question. Actually, like, isn't it weird that I can climb a 15-foot rope and it doesn't really? I jump from the top. It doesn't even
Yeah.
bother me.
If it doesn't scare you, yeah, that's weird.
It's like roofs and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's I don't know why. That's you do get afraid of that, or like,
Remember the Golden Gate Bridge? I could
yeah,
barely walk
oh
on
my
it.
God, yeah, you could barely walk, and that's like one of those situations where I was like leaning over the edge, and I was
Yeah.
fine. I do remember that. Or like planes, you get freaked out.
No, planes is just control. It's
Yeah.
like the shark scenario. Like I hate that I don't know the driver or I'm not like sitting up there and shoddy or even understand how a plane works, I guess.
Yeah, like wait, what? You wouldn't? Oh, because you're not like seeing what the hell's happening.
Yeah, like compared to driving, I know the risk of dying is more likely in a car, but I feel safer in a car.
Then you do in a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel afraid of a plane.
I just don't like the fact that in a plane, like in a car, it's probably going to be instant. In a
Yeah.
plane, like it's a fucking, you're dropping 2,000 feet, 20,000 feet out of the sky. So like you're just there with your thoughts for a minute or however long it takes before
Did
you
you
fucking
also
die.
just see there
I
was
don't
a
like
video
that.
on planes? I forget where the plane was going. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere. No, I don't know where it was. I don't remember. We'll pull it up. But the plane was fucking hit really bad turbulence and then nosedove.
Oh yeah, I was reading
and like
that.
bunch of people got fucking injured. But you know how I would be like, this is my new home. I'm not going home. Guys, I'm booking a flight or a boat to get home at this point.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
Caleb was
fucking
just
smart.
telling me this nuts story about what just happened to him. So he was flying to North Carolina. He had a layover in Fort something in
Florida,
Texas. Was it
Fort Worth? Yeah.
They had to redirect them because there was storms in Texas to a military base. So
They were that bad?
Yeah. So they chilled at this military base for 2 hours. He said they refueled him. Then they flew to the place where he was supposed to go. Obviously, he missed his connector. They'd canceled it. And then he's on standby. He sleeps. He has to sleep in the airport because apparently they don't give you a hotel ticket for weather delays, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know. The same thing happened to me in
Dumb
San Francisco
rules.
one time. It's brutal. But anyway, he wakes up the next day, talks to the front desk, and they're like, yeah, you're on standby, but all these flights that are going to where you're going are all booked. We only have 3 of them. He's like, can you transfer me to another airline? Anything? Nope, nothing. So he'd have to stay in the airport or leave and come back for another 2 days.
Holy shit.
And he was just like, fuck it. And just rented a car and drove the rest of the way.
From San
Texas to North
Francisco?
Carolina. No, from Texas to North
Holy
Carolina.
shit, Caleb.
With
Wow.
no sleep, because obviously he was at the airport. He said
Wow.
he pulled over once and like stopped at like one of those comfort motel, those cheap motels, and slept for 3 hours, and then continued the drive. But like, that's
What was the
nuts,
rush,
dude.
the urgency to get back?
No, this was just to enjoy his trip. Like, he had taken off. He didn't even get to start his trip yet. Like, this was going to his destination.
Which was where? North Carolina. And he drove from Texas to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
Already staying at the airport overnight with no sleep.
Jeez. This was work or vacay?
Vacay. But it's like, doesn't the airline have to, like,
they have so many small, minute details in there.
Such bullshit.
Like, if you go on their website, I'm sure if we like copy and pasted the link into an AI and been like, break me down the rules, it's probably like, if the flight is delayed for more than 19.37 hours, like they probably have it down to a T. Like, the average amount of time that a flight is delayed is this. And then they make the rule of like, if it goes over that average, and the average is probably the higher end.
Yeah.
They got so many lawyers. They pay fucking millions of dollars for just to make sure people have the exact verbiage in there.
Yeah, end of the day, it's just all money. Caleb went around flashing like $1,000, and he was like, "Yo, can you make this happen for me?" I'm sure that
I doubt it, dude.
I'm sure
they're like some of
the rich people have to ever sleep in the airport. I guess they're
never.
flying private.
Yeah, they're flying private, but like also don't forget, like Delta Airlines, for example, is like one of the wealthiest entities in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure their net value is like $30 billion or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money. But then when you look at stuff like Elon, he's got $200 million or $1 billion. It's a whole different story.
Yeah. Well, luckily we're driving snowboarding.
Yeah. So, it's good. It's good. I'm glad. We forgot the intros 20 minutes in.
Go ahead, rip it.
I'm Luke Lombardi, No Boat Podcast. We're in the process of the rebrand, CrossFit Level 3. Been doing CrossFit for 9 years. And I just finished my 8th open.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. I grind my teeth also, if you guys were. I see this every video. I watch it. I'm like, wow, really bad.
I'm Matt, CrossFit Level 3. Luke's going to give me a new camera. Shadows are just weird. It looked way different like 20 minutes ago. And software engineer at Sonos. I'm not afraid to say it. Also podcast host here at the Novo Podcast. And I just chipped my teeth on peach pits.
You chip your teeth on peach pits?
Yeah.
Have you gotten them fixed?
Nah. I think it adds to my character. Like tattoos or scars.
Yeah. I guess we haven't talked about tattoos either. Should we make that the hot take?
Yeah. What do you got?
I don't know. Do people like tattoos?
Chat?
What do you think the majority? Tattoos?
Does Nick have a tattoo? Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, he's got some
like
tattoos.
Anchor.
Yeah. He's got a few tattoos. His whole left arm, I think. The upper part of the arm has some shit.
Dude, you got any tattoos?
I just feel.
Chris, do you have a tattoo hidden somewhere? I feel like you'd be a guy that has a secret, like, hidden tattoo.
One that he did himself. Like, while he was working one day, he's just like, fuck this, and ripped one on the inside of his knee. I feel like growing up, and again, I'm not that old, but I was like towards the tail end, right? When I got tattoos, I don't think tattoos were as welcoming or like as accepted as they are now. Like, now it's a whole different thing. If I had a tattoo on my neck, it'd be like, oh, this guy's fucking, he's a hipster or cool or granola, like whatever all the verbiage is. But like before, when I got like the first tattoo I got was the world.
I don't know if tattoos are granola, dude.
Well,
I
anyway,
I use those two words together.
I feel like they're more so that than they are like associated with like bikers.
If you had a neck tat, I think you'd be pretty hard at this point.
You think I'd be pretty hard?
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think so. I feel like if I had, like, dude, most of the people, like, I don't believe if I had face tattoos, different fucking story. That's a little different. But again, anyway, so I had the world tattoo, and I just remember like I was the only one at school. Again, I went to a smaller school for most people, at least that are Californians watching this shit small. And just like I remember so many people being like, saying shit. Like I was already the kid that like wasn't going to college. I was already the kid not doing all these things. I was already the kid with like the fucking X, Y, and Z. Always had things against me. And now I had a tattoo. Wasn't showing up to my AP Calc class, and fucking Nick
How'd
was
they
like,
even see it though? You were like a very well dressed kid. You'd wear long sleeve button downs like the
that
majority
was
of
the
your
other. Yeah, and I played tennis. I was like
yeah.
the kid that like nobody even had to worry about, but there was like always people that were like, yeah, this kid's, he's not going anywhere. That was like that was the feeling I always had. Maybe it like was not true, but that's how I felt.
Yeah. Are tats allowed in tennis? I never really. I'm trying to think. Like,
Yeah. There's what's his face? He gets in trouble a lot.
really?
Yeah, his name's Nick Criogo or something.
Are you
Yeah.
just like not allowed to show them?
No, you can. Yeah, like Wimbledon. I think it's like that's what I mean. Like tattoos are way more accepted than they used to
Yeah.
be back in the day. What's his name? Nick. Here he is. Yeah, he's got tattoos everywhere. You know how they are. He gets in trouble. His dad's not allowed to watch him.
Why?
He got banned. I don't know for something. But yeah, he's got tattoos all over his arms. I don't know if I'm sure there's other people that have them. Like, don't forget, like the big stage is the only time like the top people go, but all the other tournaments that are happening 24/7 are like the people trying to get invited to the big tournaments.
But it's like, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like the big players,
I got a little
like
tennis in me. Broke Ken's fucking lamp. Be a disaster. But what about the pros? What about tattoos?
like the big names in tennis don't really like, you know how like basketball, like LeBron's got tats, or like
Oh,
football,
yeah.
like everybody's got tats in the
Most
bigger
of them are
sports.
tatted everywhere, like
Soccer,
their fucking
tats.
necks. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Leo Messi,
Beckham.
he's got them everywhere,
Yeah. But
right?
then you
Doesn't
come to
he?
tennis and it's like this proper prim sport.
Yeah, but then you got boys like changing it. Yeah, and Messi's got shit all over his arms, his hands. Yeah. I went through a period. I mean, I still think about it, getting a tattoo on my hand. De novo
Yeah.
bear and like a panther.
Your hands are messed up, so you should cover them up.
What do you mean?
Like they turn white
Yeah,
randomly.
because I got fucking Raynaud's, bro. His fucking group tennis is too classy. Rico, it's good to see you live, man.
Another guy with no tats.
Yeah, he hates tattoos. Like when I got tattoos, he used to talk smack on me.
That's crazy.
All
It
the
shows his
time.
picture on the.
Yeah, if you have a Google account.
I don't know if you necessarily want that, but there's Eric. You wonder what he looks like.
Tennis is too classy. There's a lot of I think a lot more women have it. Also, it depends on the country. Don't forget, like tennis is this international sport where certain countries it ain't accepted. Like I forget the girl, but one of the girls that was from I think China won the U.S. Open, Australian Open, and like her prize winnings was like 8 million. And I don't think she got any of it. It all went to like China. Like it just got taken from her. And then a lot of these people like try to figure out everything they can to like leave the country and go somewhere else. But it's also another part to it. There's also just a lot of money in other sports. Like think about Messi's contract, or like they were going to pay some of these guys $1 billion contracts to play soccer over a course of like 5 years, 200 million a year. Like just watching the NFL just sign people. And it was like, yeah, this kicker is going to get 24 million over the next 4 years. It's like, compared to some other people, that ain't a lot of money.
That's like what we were talking about with CrossFit. It's like can you see CrossFit ever getting there? That kind of money?
No way, never. It's just people. It's like we said, it's people working out. I think about like Friday Night Lights we just did at the gym. Who the fuck's paying somebody millions of dollars to do what we just did on Friday? Nobody.
Yeah. I mean, we're just working out at the end of the day. Like, I can see like some sponsorship deals, like it's promoting health, like here's the fittest person, like, and they take, protein powder, but it's like beyond that. Like, are we really going to get into like shoe deals? Like,
shoe deals, maybe, but like beyond that, it's like there's no crazy expensive equipment or like innovating equipment that you can use. Like tennis, like there's going to be people who are like, all right, I'm going to use Head, I'm going to use Wilson, I'm going to use this, or football, like different cleats and different things, and like the new and greatest, like latest thing that they're allowed to do. Whereas like CrossFit, it's like, all right, well, we could do grips. Cool. The newest material is the coolest thing you're going to get out of that. I just think like Friday's workout
is too, right? Like how many people watch the NFL and how many people are watching
Oh, the
Also
NFL is
games.
also like a game is like 3 to 4 hours of your time. CrossFit's workout on Friday was 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, well, to
Hey, we're
that
gonna
point, NFL is a whole fucking season that's half a year long. And CrossFit is
yeah,
you have the open, which is 3 workouts that are, like you said, like no more than 20 minutes. And then then it's like, there's a bunch of random local comps that or semifinal comps that, some people watch. And then there's the games, which is like a weekend.
yeah. Well, I think it's cool, but I don't think it's something that will go pro. We talked about that. Just money.
Yeah.
Money.
The money doesn't match up.
Yeah, it's all about money. It's more of a business that's still maturing and it can go one or two ways. It could fall apart and fucking fail and we'll just be working out. This shirt will be gone. Or wearing my Go Ruck.
Nice, dude.
My back is fucked up from the workout. Just telling you that. I'm like so sore my shoulders. Typical. I figured my shoulders would be fucked up, but like I can't even keep my shoulders back. They're like just rounding like constantly. So I don't know if anybody else that has done the workout feels that way, but
Yeah,
if not,
I don't. Except my legs are broken.
yeah. Well, sorry about that, man.
Now, speaking of that, like, what did you think? 24.3. Eric, did you do it?
Yeah, I don't think Eric's done it. I think he said he was trying to get back into it though.
He always says that.
Right, Rico. I thought the workout was good. I thought it did the usual. It really separated things. It wasn't super hard. I don't think it separated. I think it kept normal people in it. I'll be honest there. It kept like the average goer in CrossFit in it. It made it really challenging. You guys haven't, like, you didn't finish it. Which is like, hey, it's a test for this guy.
This guy got injured from pickleball.
Yeah.
And he tells us he's like the
That
most
is the injured
human.
sport. Like pickleball is where people go to play at the geriatric state. Like Kev's fucking ripping it there. Tennis career shot. I'm sorry for that, Rick.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rick. Well, you can become CrossFit pro.
I
thought this was one of the better workouts. The reason I say that is because it was a nice workout. It's one of those ones in CrossFit that you read it and you're like, oh, that's not too bad. Looks a little bit like Fran, but then you do it and you get like, that's kind of like what I don't know, like about the open. I like those workouts that are like humbling and it's like brutally hard and you don't want to redo it. And it's just like, I like those in there. So I think that was cool.
I have a hot take on that. I think most workouts, it's like one of my things I'm starting to discover, especially as, you run into more people and I program. Every workout on the board that you're right, any workout, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh, it doesn't look too bad. They all suck. Like I could write anything down and I can make you make it as hard as you fucking can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like looking at that workout, no, all of them. Like if you just push harder, why is it not going to be harder?
I mean,
like
if I can 5 rounds, 10 air squats, 10 push-ups, that's only going to be so hard. You can only go so fast. Like you could do the squats unbroken, the push-ups unbroken.
Yeah.
And then
well, that's a different. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying, like, there's certain capacities of movement that like some people can just do to the
that would be effect. Something where it's like, hey, the second you don't do it unbroken, the rep doesn't count. You have to restart from 0.
Yeah, I guess my point is like an air squat is only going to be so fast, but a run, like, there's no limit. Like you can always run faster.
Yeah, until you physically can't. Yeah, I guess. But okay, so one of the hardest ones you've done, or just hard?
But I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, you can make anything.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't saying that it wasn't difficult. I guess
what I mean is like this one is hard to pace or figure out what to do, and so it's easily a lot of people fall into the trap of like they exploded and died.
Yeah,
which I guess I kind of like that part.
It helps separate.
Yeah.
But
again, like to your point, like it's just not that entertaining to watch, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, what would you say was the hardest open wide you've done in a while? Was it the hardest you've ever done? Was it?
This is definitely one of the hard. I guess that's why I kind of liked it. It was definitely one of the harder ones I've done in a while.
Sorry, my dogs are barking, Fran.
And the last hard one I did was probably 2 years ago.
Which one?
I'm trying to think. I think it was either the deadlift burpee one would probably be the last one that was like brutal. The ascending, descending.
That was one of the hard. Okay, interesting.
That wrecked me.
Yeah.
And again, that was one that like it's hard to decipher, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get through this. Like I'll finish this one.
Yeah. Well, one of those ones where the weight you physically can't pick up, but
yeah, like I didn't think I'd be doing singles on that one. For those that don't know, it's 1 to 10 and then back down to 1 of deadlifts and burpees.
I want to pull up. Want to pull up a list that we can easily decipher all the open WODs ever. Wadwell, because I got a couple that stick out, and we're gonna talk CrossFit let's set our AMRAP timer 10 minutes, and we're gonna jump on to the next segment. We got some
Hold
good
on.
shit coming at you.
I also have a hot take before you get into this about this open.
Shoot it, spit it. What do you got?
Word this. CrossFit's kind of scummy with the open.
How so?
It's a little scummy to me. Like they always start off the workouts as like, oh, this is something everyone can do. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to sign up RX, or sorry, all the new people who don't usually do it. Then it's like, then they throw in double unders workout 2, and then they throw in bar muscle ups workout 3. And then you're like, I spent $20 and like now I'm in the scale division and it's just not as cool.
Yeah, but I would put it this way. Definitely not scummy. I think it's one of those things where they're progressively trying to push people to get more competitive. It's like I think it's like a sales tactic almost. It's like pay the $20 for the open, do it. $20 is a very low buy-in. And you're going to push to do more. Like think about the percentage of people that actually get a muscle up because they're pushing harder than they normally would. A lot of people get up there and be like, nah, I'm not doing this. But then in their mind, they're like, I'm going to do it because it's the open. More people do it that way.
But think of all the people that don't sign up just because of that reason alone.
Yeah, and I think as the industry leaders, we're the forefront. We're the industry leaders, the CrossFit coaches across the board.
Yeah,
that is your job to enable people, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, of like being like, hey Matt, like if we did this open mod again, I would coach you to do it differently. First 5 rounds, I did it injured.
I didn't idea for programming.
What?
You could start throwing in the workouts from the opens but RX is scaled. But anyway, that could be fun.
That'd be fun.
But anyway, like we were talking about this similar at the gym. Like scaled's cool, but it's kind of lame that they don't actually like treat it like RX though. Like there's no scaled quarterfinals and there's no scaled games. So it's just like that's where it feels scummy. Like, oh, hey, pay $20, you're in scaled. Like, like if it was a race, for example, like most of the races have like a full marathon, a half marathon, and a 10K. And it's like you can win in each of those and you progress in each of those, right? Like you go to the 10K World Series or you could go to the Marathon World Series.
Yeah. But
CrossFit's just like, all right, thanks for the $20. Cool. You made top 5,000th in scaled. See you next year.
But what's the $20? What don't you get out of it?
$20? I mean, I would throw that question back at you and say, what do you get out of it?
And most people never compete in their life. Majority of people never have any sort of competition. And this is their only sense of competition like that they ever have been exposed to. And I think it's a very gentle way of being like, hey, you're going to go up against people.
Okay.
It really gives you exposure to be like, hey, do I like it?
That's fair.
But if I don't like it, awesome. It was only $20. Most margaritas in California or Manhattans cost $20-some.
Right. I get the idea of the value, but to throw it back at you, how does the pointing system work?
I'm not saying the pointing system worked good at all.
How does it work?
They don't know. It's like a weighted scale. So from
that's the bullshit part.
They have like, I'm sure some sort of algorithm where it's like we have 100,000 men in the open division. So that is 18 to 34, right? Boom. That's where you go. And we're going to put in there and it's going to be based off your score. Whoever got the fastest score is at the top. And then they break down point wise and percentage. And
where do you put someone who did workout 2 RX, workout 1 scaled, and workout 3 scaled? Where do they fall? Who are they competing against?
Well, that is why I think when you get into it, you should pick RX or scaled. whether
I
you
agree.
can do it or not. It should be like, I
agree.
signed up for RX. I might get one rep, and that is my score. That is exactly what you log. If you want to after while, like the beauty of it doing it in the affiliate is like, cool. I did my 1 rep. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes not whipping myself with the rope. So I did my 300-meter row. I did the deadlifts. Now I did 1 double under. I'm going to call it. And then I'm going to work out. I'm going to take the 20 minutes off, and then I will work out after that.
Yeah.
Because if you came in for a workout versus competition, and that's what we tried to explain to people, was like, this is the open. Yes, I'm not going to let you be like going through deadlifts with your back like this and like shaking out at the top. It's going to be like, all right, let's call it. It's good. But how many people did you let push way more than they ever would?
Oh yeah. I mean, like that's the whole point of the open. I told everybody that in the morning. Like, this is your one chance to literally just spend 15 minutes working on getting a double under or 2.
Yeah. Your first double under.
This doesn't have to be a day that like you, in air quotes, get your workout in. Like, it's cool to just like have a day where you just practice something or try something.
I think that would be the easy solution, not easy solution. That's what I would like to see going forward. Would be like, if you're doing the open, when Luke signs up, pick whatever category you fucking want, and that puts you. So like, if I had shoulder surgery, it'd be like, cool, I'm going adaptive because I still work out, and I'm gonna go. When they answer a questionnaire, left or doesn't even matter, left or right.
It's when you register. Like, RX are scaled. Like, I'm doing them scaled. Okay, cool. We're not even. You don't get to log RX.
Yeah, it's
so
just you're in a different division. Yeah, I agree. That's a very good point. There should be
problem
multiple.
2, and this probably goes into it. Is like, poor Chris here spent $20. He can't even fucking find his rank. Like, he can't even find it.
Well,
when he goes to search for himself,
like
this app is so messed up that he can't even like go find himself on the leaderboard. Like, he'll pick like I don't know, his age group, and then it will just show the whole age group leaderboard. It doesn't like go to him where he is in the standings. And then
that's a whole different technical part is a whole different beast. I just think,
but that's fucking scummy. Like, you're paying $20, you should at least get something, especially from that competitive value.
But 20 again, when we're looking at $20, you are still getting something. You're not getting nothing.
What are you getting?
I mean, okay, I want you to put some tangible value on anything. Put tangible value on something. If we're going to look at it this way, it's like maybe those $20 just go towards the gyms instead of CrossFit HQ. That's a different story. But like, for the value percentage, like if we're going to break it down to like, how do we determine $20 is the price? How do we determine what the value is associated with that? That's up to what you believe you want. So you, where you're at as an athlete, you see no value in it because like, why don't you see any value for you?
I see value for me.
Okay.
I'm like thinking like,
give me the 3 value drivers. And then I want you to drop 3 value drivers. I want Chris in here. I don't want you to tell me what Chris wants.
No, I'm not saying what Chris wants. I'm just saying,
if
I was Chris.
I want to hear your 3 value drivers
for the open.
Or one
for the open.
Tell me, what does the open do for you? Tell me about it.
It's fun little competitive space. I get access to the leaderboard, and I can progress competitively.
Okay.
There's an opportunity to do that.
Explain that to me more in the sense of
like, I can do well for me and move on to like quarterfinals, which is like another competition. It's funner. It keeps me engaged. Like, there's value there.
Funner. What's that?
What's like that mean? Staying competitive. I get enjoyment out of that. That brings me joy. Moving to the next phase. It'd be like tennis if you got eliminated in the first round, like, versus if you made it to the next round of a bracket.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I understand. I'm solely just asking, like, in a sense of, aside from, hey, here's $20 CrossFit HQ. I'm going to do the open. I'm committing to doing the open. I want my scores to actually mean something. Cool. Like, you got to pay to play. It's like going to the store. Have you ever bought a scratch off lottery ticket?
Yeah.
Powerball ticket?
Yeah.
You ever win?
Yeah.
You won the Powerball.
No, but you win.
Bill, he won the Powerball
in the scratch off. It's
he
not like
won the Powerball, and
you get nothing. Sometimes you get a ticket. Sometimes you get $10. Sometimes you get $50. I've won $100 before on a scratch off.
Yeah. Okay. And have you continued to want to do it?
No, I don't really buy scratch offs.
But you've won before, and you like when the Powerball goes big, you're like, I'm fucking in for this comp. Like,
Yeah,
you do the math and
definitely.
you're like, well, the
Yeah, there's a
value
prize
here
pot.
is,
There's a chance of me winning.
yeah, there's a chance of you winning this. You just have to somehow figure out where that time comes from.
But
Trill
they don't
says the
do a
fact
good
that you
job
also
of
have to pay
giving
for
you that.
quarterfinals on top of the Open, even though you qualify based on your scores. And then she's stoked that you won the Powerball. I don't disagree, and I'm playing more of a understanding role. I'm trying to understand a little bit more. I'd love to get some RX
Well, let me hear
athletes in here.
what are your values for the $20? Because like if they just won $20, I'd be more than happy to just donate it to them.
Yeah,
But I just feel like for people who aren't
I
like
honestly think if we
RXing, the
sat,
scaled division is just kind of a disaster. Like you get to
we
log scores, and
I
they don't even
agree
have a
with you.
point system, and they don't even have a good job to show that like how you're doing on the
I
leaderboard.
agree with you. The $20 in regards to the scoring system and value, feature values, like here's what you are getting physically in your hands, tangible items for your $20. Features, nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
You get nothing feature wise. Value wise, you get a lot more. But you just have to understand what that value is for you. Some of you might not have any. Others will. For you, it drives a lot of value in the sense of, you said, it brings fun to you, competition to you. It brings excitement to see that you go on to the next step. It helps you base yourself on a ranking of like, hey, where's my fitness lie today? As I'm aging, my fitness slowly increases. That's the cool part. Those are the value drivers that I heard you say. Is that right?
I don't know about the last one, but the rest, yeah. The
Okay.
last one I see day to day in the affiliate. Like,
Yeah, you see day to day, but on a grand scheme, you're one of the fittest in the gym. Like, I
yeah,
will
but I don't
beat
need the
you
open to
rarely.
see progression. Like, you'll throw Fran in there, and I'll be like, oh wow, I did
Yeah,
worse. I did
different,
better.
but that's because I'm programming those things. But I get your point. Yeah, that's fair.
Sam
That's a
says
valid point.
paying for quarterfinals is BS. You want
Get
to
him in
argue
here,
him on
Sam. Get the
that?
fuck in here. I want all the people in here.
Here's the
Let's go.
link. Chris, you can click it. Jay
Yeah,
up for
click
a
it. I'd love
moment.
that. I would love to ask Chris what your or anybody. I want to know what some values are. Multiple people can get in here. Let's get rowdy. Let's get
I just don't want
fucking
people to
rowdy,
forget. Don't
boys.
forget the workouts are free and you can do them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to pay $20. So that's the
Yeah.
point. Is like,
But I want people to pay. I want people to
but why?
support CrossFit. Huh?
Now you're saying CrossFit is scummy for the $20. You're not saying they're scummy. You just
They're
are
doing a
pissed.
bad job.
So we're
They're
gonna write an
doing a
email
bad
later.
job of giving people value.
Yeah.
You know, they're not.
I
They're
agree.
not selling the.
I agree, but they're not giving them feature values.
Because wouldn't like in your opinion, wouldn't it have been cool if literally more than half the gym was signed up for the Open?
I think it'd be cool if everybody was signed up. Somehow, with the Nobo crew, again, small crew, 30 people, I was able to get 90% of people to sign up.
Yeah.
But to your point, most of them are like, what the fuck is this for? And it was like, cool, I'm going to sign up. I get to log my scores and see where I stand. But then your point exactly, like, there's no explanation that I could give. Be like, well, you all scaled. How can I do X, Y, and Z? I don't think it has anything to do with the money. CrossFit doesn't need the funds. I think it has nothing to do with the money. Like, really,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
you
That is
need
not
money.
their yes, but that is not driving CrossFit's revenue in any manner.
No,
Not
no.
at all. Like, if we were to put a scale,
But it would be nice if all your open funds and quarterfinal funds just went to supporting the games. Because me as an affiliate owner, I don't want to pay for the games. I want nothing to do with that. That does nothing for my business.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Does nothing for your business. Does nothing for CrossFit from what we see as an affiliate standpoint.
Yeah.
Nothing, because they're trying to take it in a direction where it's like it's a mess. But I think value wise, again, feature wise, it doesn't drive. I think the opposite side, they don't even ask for a certified judge anymore. Yeah, because I think too many people complain, and they're too much of a company that's like, we're gonna do what the people want. We're gonna do everything that everybody wants. That'd be like trying to think of like Apple. Like, if Apple was like, this iPhone costs $1,000, and Matt's like, well, I'm not paying it. They're gonna be like, cool, go get something else. Yeah. CrossFit is the opposite. Matt's like, all affiliates are de-affiliating. CrossFit's like, all right, wait, Greg, get out. Castro, you're fired. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, we got what we wanted. Let's go. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, everybody comes back. Boom, there goes the cash. All of a sudden, something else happens. Everybody's like, hey, this sucks. All of a sudden, CrossFit's like, whoa, 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 Castro, you're fired again. Get out.
Yeah.
This is your fault. They don't try to correct anything. They don't try to fix anything. You can't just like. I mean, I see it in plenty of things that happen in my job where it's like we can't correct based off of like what the people are just like bitching at you for. Be like, hey, it's too expensive. All right, it's free. It's free for you. Please don't go.
But I mean, I think your first solution is would fix a lot of problems. Like if you literally were just like, I'm doing scaled, I have a scaled leaderboard, I have the scaled workouts, nothing else, and like you were in your own division, like that would be cool. That would just be a good start.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we were gonna go over some open watts.
Yeah, but I wanted to relate this to what you were just saying, so I didn't just cut you off. Part of it was looking at these WODs, 5 rounds for time. That was the last one. Okay, so let's go first one. Wherever the fuck it is. I don't know how they did this. 20. Why'd they write it 3 times? They wrote it a bunch of different ways. Why'd they do this?
4.2.
24.2. Okay, right here. 24.1. So this was the first one. For time, thrusters, or I'm sorry, dumbbell snatches and lateral burpees over the dumbbell. Most people in our gym, in my opinion, could do some reps of this.
Oh, 100%. Everyone could do this workout. Yeah.
Yeah. Would it be easy? No. But all of a sudden, what I saw happen was no rep, your chest didn't hit the bar. So I see workouts all the time. Jumping chest to bar pull-ups, people do all the time. Hey, we're going to do chest to bar pull-ups today. Some options, some scaling options to progress you to get better. Jumping chest to bar pull-ups. All of a sudden you see jump, bar doesn't hit, jump, bar doesn't hit, bar doesn't jump. But they jump off and they're like, I'm done. Next thing, boom, open all of a sudden. People are like, fuck, I didn't hit. Okay. Shake it out. Get the belly tight. Get my grip right. They jump, go. Boom, they hit the bar. And all of a sudden people are focusing more and pushing themselves in a different direction to get fitter. So in my opinion, the open drives a different factor of fitness for them solely because they're getting no reps. Do you disagree there?
I think it's a nice sentiment. I think you're glorifying what actually happens a little bit, but I get the sentiment. Like we had a lady in yesterday who that was her first jumping chest to bar pull up. Like she did it. She did it right. She worked hard on it. Her judge was good. Her judge was no repping her. But I think where it breaks down is like for you, like you either have someone that's overly competitive and so they're just being sloppy and they don't give a fuck. And they also have a judge who's either timid or, just doesn't care either. And they're just letting the
Or you
reps
have
go.
the athlete that is an asshole and it's like, that wasn't a no rep.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're scared and they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And so now we just have reps that are sliding and the whole thing is broken.
Yeah.
But yes, to your sentiment, that is beautiful piece. Like that's what I saw yesterday. And it was like cool. Like, me and Luke can tell you how to do it till we're blue in the face. End of the day, it's just a workout. It's part of training and you're moving. So like we can only care so much. But here in this competition setting, it's like, here's the standard. You have to do this. Like you can't move on in the workout. Yeah, until you do it.
I think it'd be cool
that's the time
as
thing.
Coaches if all of us could start to do that more often. Be like, hey, not that I'm a no repper, but if you are moving sloppy and doing stuff, I'm going to tell you it's a no rep. Like I want you to redo it. And if you're going to just like disregard me, I will disregard you. Yeah. Like if you want to ignore me, I'm going to ignore you. Not ignore you. Cool. I'll make sure you're safe. But I'm not going to coach you. I'm not going to tell you to do things better. Coaching is to make you move better, more efficient, smoother.
But in a normal setting, you would probably just scale this person. Correct. Like that's the nice, like to your point, that's the nice thing about the open. It's like, hey, you're going to just take 15 minutes, try to get a jumping chest to bar. Like you don't need to sweat every day. Like here's your chance.
Well, even
that normal workout, like, all right, we're going to scale you down to a chin over bar. Jumping chin over bar.
Just because, you want to move quicker 100%. Because like, if
it's like not to say we definitely, I want to preface, we give time in specific warm-ups to like do things like this practice. I know a lot of people in our gym, at least, and it's unfortunate, like just have this notion that they don't want to overwork out. And so they just, when you say, here's 5 minutes, just practice some pull-ups, I'll be around, I'm going to help you out. And as most people are getting water and writing up a whiteboard. It's like, well, there's only so much you and I can do at the end of the day. But like to your point, the open gives that opportunity for like, all right, this person's going to just try to get that
Yeah.
if all the other things align.
Yeah, I agree. You know, just play devil's advocate a little bit. I had to pull my inner Rick. You know, we appreciate everything you do for the Open, Matt. We appreciate it. The people, myself.
Chris, you didn't J up. I sent the link in the comments.
Do you
but
guys get more nervous for an open workout? Not anymore. Nervous it's a different feeling. Do I get nervous in the sense of like I want to do well? That's what I get nervous for. Is like I want to do well, and like so many things can go wrong. I'm tired. I had work. I had this. My shoulder hurts. Now I don't think I care as much about like being like a really good score. Like it is what it is for me now. I used to get nervous.
maybe your injury is the cause for that.
Of not actually getting nervous anymore.
Yeah, like do you just feel like you're going into this Open as like my shoulder's broken, I don't have a chance of doing anything, I'm not at my best?
Yeah, I go into that, and it's more of now I'm just at the point like really just concerned of like I just want to make sure I don't like keep steeping down, and I want to find a balance. I know we talked about it yesterday. It's like, yo, you need to stop doing shit like pull-ups and muscle-ups and anything that's going to cause pain.
To play devil's advocate, my next thing was going to be like, you probably shouldn't have even signed up.
Yeah, because it like made me want to do it. I still would have done it, but I think the last workout, for example, the first one was the one that hurt the most because the pressing of the push-up hurts the most for me. Going overhead is not as bad. On the muscle-up, I felt it turning. My arm, there was like I went here, and my right arm as I was pressing went like this, and I was able to pull it back. And then the rest of the reps, I was like I stayed a lot tighter, but
yeah, like for you, I know CrossFit wouldn't have allowed it, but you would be a lower extremity athlete.
Yeah, which is odd that it's. How do they do the scaled versions? Not scaled, but the adaptive and so on. Is that in?
You have to have like a realistic injury. Like I have to go to a doctor.
Yeah, and the doctor was like, "Hey, you have a neurological issue. You don't have one fucking hand. You're missing a hand."
Yeah.
Okay.
And to answer Chris's question before I let you in here, Chris, like for me, I was still nervous, but like to Luke's point, not as much. And the last workout was probably the most nervous I've been for all three. The first two, not so nervous, but you know, I still get the jitters. But way back in the day, I used to like lose sleep over it. Like I had a coach in the morning still, but I would like, not sleep at all. I'd be worried about it, kind of thing.
I'm about to get a phone call, chat, so it's gonna be Matt and Chris for a second.
Right.
It could roll in any moment. It might not roll in at all. But
you just drop. You know how to dip. What up, Chris?
Hey,
where are you at? Yeah.
Well, Willie decided it was time to go for a walk right when you guys started, so I'm walking him. Hopefully, I don't lose connection. He just starts barking at me. It's time to go.
Well, I'm gonna have to dip in a second, but Matt's gonna run the show until I'm back. I think I want to ask you the same thing I asked Matt. Like, what does the Open bring for you value wise?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for one, you're getting judged, and you're in front of a group, so that adds a whole new level of pressure. To one of your points, I don't know which one of you said it. It's like maybe it's the only competition you do, and you get that competitive adrenaline, nerves. That's why I asked you guys about nerves. It's like, to me, it felt like a competition, like the only competition I might do all year.
Yeah, or ever, right?
Yeah, or ever. And so it's like you don't want to do it for that reason, which is a good reason to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
True.
Yeah, sorry about my camera. I'm literally walking the dog.
You're good. Camera don't matter. You can turn the camera off if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I just feel okay. I like that. What about in the sense of like how Matt was saying, right? The $20. Does that affect you? If it does, why? If it doesn't, why?
I think, well, maybe if I was 18 and I was like just getting started in my career, it might affect me more, and I might be more concerned about the $20. But the $20 doesn't bother me that much. The money, but to your guys' point, so I enter the scaled division and I stay in it because there's guaranteed there's going to be double unders or something I can't do, and I appreciate that, and I want to see where I match up to the rest of the world in a scaled version. But then I look at the top scores, I'm like, that's an RX athlete, because it'd be like if you guys did the 95-pound bar or the 65-95 and the jumping chest to bars and the pull-ups,
Yeah.
you guys would kill it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That leads into like almost like a third problem, like for the whole scaled thing. It's like who is actually scaled, who's actually not. That also kind of blends into Luke's point too of like the open is a good time to like do I'm just gonna use the word RX, but maybe it's scaled that where the movements are still hard for you, and like you're spending like 8 hours trying to get a jumping chest to bar pull up, but like that's a hard problem to solve. I don't even know where we would begin.
Well, I that's actually, I didn't even think about this. I mean, I'm sure I have, but that's a really good point. You can't have, that's why they do it. You can't have a division that's scaled and they give you an accurate score, because you know how many fucking cheaters be like, yeah, I'm scaled. I'm scaled. Be like, bro, you can do 30 bar muscle ups in a row strict. What do you mean you're scaled? But now you're going to do jumping pull ups. You know, so many people would do that.
Well, they should make it. I don't know if this is a thing. Maybe it is, but I think I could, like Matt was saying, I could do an RX workout and then I could do a scaled workout. So
That was
Luke. So once I enter, I need to enter either scaled or RX. So then I commit to that. So then, sure. I mean, if you guys would be tempted to enter scaled to win, but then you'd be like, that's not really who I am.
I wouldn't do that, but like to Luke's point, there are people like that for sure.
I also have the theory, if we want to make CrossFit more of a sport, and we only should have like the NFL, they're not like, hey, everybody, let's go try out to this weekend. Let's go. Let's show up to your local stadium. You're going to throw down whoever's the best. You're going to get a contract. It's like CrossFit, same idea. It's like we have an RX style competition happening global. If you can do RX, sign up. $20 to join. Not like, hey, everybody join. They should have something separate for that. They should have the open that is tailored towards scaled athletes, and like the people who signed up for the RX open workouts do not get to sign up for the other one. So you can't do both. You can do them, participate, do whatever the fuck you want. But it's like Matt and Luke and Chris all sign up for the open workout because Chris does have double unders. Chris, if you fought for 30 minutes, you might get your first bar muscle up. You might get 5 bar muscle ups. Those are like, you have to separate it, is my point. Like at a point, you got to be like, hey, this is a sport. This is where we're going. If you're signing up RX or this competition, you're doing it RX. We're not going to put out 7 different scaled workouts. We're not going to put out like teens RX, masters RX, and here's RX. That's it. It's not going to be, here's the scaled version for teens. Here's the scaled version for this. Here's the scaled version for that.
And then $20, the only thing that kind of rubs me a little bit about paying the money is, like Matt said, the technical issues. You enter like, okay, I'm hashtag surfer, I'm hashtag grandpa, and all this different stuff. You want to see, well, how do I match up against fellow surfers? You know, I can't find it. There's no way to find it on there. Or maybe I'm not on the right platform, but I mean, I'm using their app.
Yeah.
I think that's the part too, where it's like, yeah, CrossFit just doesn't do a good job at all on the technical side, like you guys said. I mean, I defended them in a sense, but it's more of like, I guess. And
I guess I'm kind of like you. I think we're all like you, Chris. Like if CrossFit was like, hey, donate $20 to the game, or the open competition, I think all 3 of us would. But to be empathetic towards the people who are like, $20, what do I get out of it? It's like, yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to give them an answer. Like, it's like Luke's kind of digging into, like, I guess you kind of have to figure out what value is for you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used to tell people.
Sell it better.
Yeah. Was like, why do the open? But I mean, if we're going to put it that way, it's kind of like anybody doing it scaled is more of like, not why are you doing the open? It's just a hard buy-in. It's like, I think what you said, there should be 2 separate pieces. Like, hey, here's the RX, like just like they do with quarterfinals. Like, here's the open. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to do like, don't they do quarterfinals? And then after quarterfinals, they do the masters version.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should be. Like, hey, CrossFit season is here. The next 6 weeks are opens. And the first one is RX, first 3 weeks. And we make it harder. Like, that's where the games athletes are. Like, hey, sorry to break it to you, but the thruster weight is 185 instead of 135.
Chris, I have a question for you that made me think of like this word competitive and the open. Because I think I don't know if it's our gym, maybe you've seen it in other gyms too, Luke, but Chris, do you feel competitive within the gym? Like, are there people that you would, like, if we put you in a heat, are there like 6 people you'd want to be in your heat to compete against? Or like, does the fact that you know this person make you less competitive?
I think it's both and. I think you're all
Yeah.
the cool thing, because you made a comment yesterday when I went to yoga about something came up and you're like there's a leaderboard or something in yoga, which is it's like the
Yeah.
exact opposite of what yoga is. The yoga is like you go in there and they just tell you like this is not a competitive. This is like be where you're at. Like if you need to lay there, lay there. If you need, but I think the cool thing about CrossFit is that there is a competitiveness, but it's also your friends. So you're rooting for everybody to do their best, and you're hoping subliminally that you can have a great score and be on the top of the leaderboard that day. And then you see it fluctuate based on where your strengths are, and you're like, dang, this workout I'm not gonna do good because whatever, I'm too short for the rower, or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think it's great both ends. So yeah, of course there's a group of people, and I'm not a super competitive person, but you feel it, like, it doesn't ruin my day, but you're like, oh, had I just not taken that break, I could have been one position up on the person that's doing the same scale as me.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm asking is, where would you compete more? If we did Friday Night Lights style and you were in a heat of 6 dudes around your age group, around your same fitness that you see on the Sugar WOD, or you're just competing against the randoms in the overall leaderboard, like in a heat of maybe like 2 people?
Oh, for me, that group, if I was in a group, I'd be way more competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, in a group. Yeah, just my theories too is like if you're in a group of athletes that are sending it and not walking 20 feet away from the barbell you're gonna get a better time than if you're in a group of people that are I think it's a little contagious. You see someone
Well, I wish it was. I think with our gym, I noticed like people, I guess it goes back to your friend's point, but like people rather compete in the open against a leaderboard of random people than like, because our Friday night, I've seen other gyms Friday Night Lights videos on Instagram, and it's like full on, like they're going head to head against each other, like that's their only focus. But our gym's a little more I don't know the word, not compassionate, but more like,
Support.
they don't like to compete against each other because they're friends. Like a lot of people will be like, no, we're not competing, she's blah blah blah, or he's way better at blah blah blah.
Right.
Like, how cool would it be if we actually had it inside the gym heat where it was like, I'm racing Luke or I'm racing Sam?
I think that just comes down to us setting it up that way. Would have been the right way. It would have been like, hey, Friday Night Lights, instead of 2:30 to 5:30, at 4:30, we're putting Luke, like Luke's schedule's available. Everybody's available. Let's imagine perfect world. Luke, Matt, Sam, Robbie, Chris, and Sam T go head to head. Examples. I know I'm missing some people. Nick, I forget you. Michael, Daniel. Like there's a lot of other people that all are at the same realm, but it's like, cool. You 6 are going head to head. You're kicking off at 4:30. Be ready. Clock starts at 10 seconds at 4:30. At 4:55, the next heat goes. So that's going to be the Masters group. Chris, John, Jim, Ollie. And again, we're just going all the guys. And it's like, you're going to go head to head. And I'm not saying Masters. Like I ain't calling you old, but different heat. And then the next one, like that's how we used to do it. It was like, you're going to go head to head, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But it's also hard because like schedules don't work. Like,
or people just flake out. Like that's, I think, one of our, like that's what would happen in our gym. People would be like, no.
Yeah. 100%. But you got to somehow sell the value, or not even value, sell the, like, they're the want to do it. Like, I want you to do this because of X, Y, and Z. I guess you have to make somebody feel something.
What caused that thought is because, like, to your point, Chris, like you value this competitiveness, but like you have that opportunity every day. Like we have a leaderboard for every workout, but it's like, there's not a judge, the standard part, all the semantic stuff. Yeah, I get that too. But also, like, when you're in different classes, it's just hard to be competitive because you don't see this person.
Yeah. You have the leaderboard, but you're not right next to them. And I think that to what I believe is if I, even when I'm working out with you guys and I'm on a totally different weight or scale, if you go back and pick up the barbell, I'm going back to pick up the barbell. I'm not going to go walk away.
Yeah.
And even Sam told me that one time, and he's way stronger athlete than me. He's like, if you go unbroken on the dumbbell, I'm not putting it down. You know,
That's what's so cool about. I love when people's ideas all kind of mesh. Like the really good people at CrossFit, like all have that similar idea. Like I was telling you the story about Aaron, right? Like he didn't care what you did on the workout for the leaderboard. He was just going to beat you. Like you could do open 24.1, the snatches and the burpees over the dumbbell with a 5-pound dumbbell, and he'd still try to beat you at it.
So good.
Yeah. He'd look at your time and be like, yeah, I'm going to. And same thing in the workout, right? If you're doing scale, it doesn't matter. He's watching you.
Right.
That's the good competition. I think that's what helps excel people and push intensity.
Yeah, and I think that plus camaraderie and friendship and CrossFit, what's the magic in it.
Yeah.
That's what I found.
Yeah. Well, it's the Chris and Matt show now. Anything you wanted to get into?
Oh, nice. No, I think you guys covered it.
How'd you feel about this open as a whole? This is like this is the first time you've did an open, like one scale division, right? Start to finish, no changing it up. Like you just did each workout to spec.
It was really challenging. I mean, especially the thruster workout, the last one was thrusters and the pull-ups, and the chest to bars caught me off guard. I totally thought I was going to finish the workout when I looked at it. And then once I got into it, I realized that's got to change. I'm not finishing it. So then midstream, mentally, you have to change gears and go, okay, if I'm not going to finish, what am I going to do? I have to keep going. And you saw me, you were judging me. You saw me on the chest to bar, on the jumping chest to bars. I totally discounted those.
Yeah.
And they started getting tough. And so, yeah. And then are you sore?
My legs are destroyed.
Yeah, I was limping around last night and going, whoa, that just caught up with me. Yeah, so it's definitely. I thought it was a good program.
Yeah.
Disappointed in the last announcement, how that went, obviously.
Yeah. And Luke made a point in the very beginning of this of like, if you can make any workout hard by pushing it. And so like, I don't think it would be hard to make an open of 3 workouts that literally everyone can do, and you'd still have separation.
Yeah, I had the thought that I know you guys were talking about something a few minutes ago, and I'm like, you guys should do the scaled version. And guaranteed pain for you guys. I mean, look at Fran. That's your second weight is 95 pounds. It's still more reps than Fran. Basically, the second part is Fran for you.
Yeah.
So exactly. You know what I mean? So I would love to see the RX athletes send the scaled version. And that's to Luke's point. Like you can make anything hard. Yeah. You know, just go faster, increase the intensity.
Yeah. What are you up to today?
Today, I'm getting ready to go snowboarding. I'm getting all my stuff together to go snowboarding with you guys.
Right. When was the last time you've been snowboarding?
I went a few years ago in Idaho with my daughter, but it was icy. Yeah. So it was a little unpleasant, you know, if there's ice, it's not the same. It's just a lot of, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the trip. We're leaving at dark 30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm ready. I haven't snowboarded either last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember, but I went with Ollie. I'm not good by any means, but I can stay standing for most of it, which is a win for me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast.
Well, cool. Yeah. Well, we're going to have you on for a full-on interview. either next week. This week, I know Luke had this call, so I didn't want to like make a formal interview if he had to leave, and we were in deep in conversation kind of thing.
Yep, and I got some questions for you guys on a subject that I
Yeah.
like, but I'm going to save those.
All right, sounds good.
Right on.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Chris.
All right, Matt.
All right. See you
See
all.
ya.